It is day 15 of our 90-day run, right? It's hard to keep up, guys, but we're doing this every single morning, guys. I'm so proud of you guys for hanging in there and making the decision and the commitment to be on every single morning, especially 9:30 on a weekday. But that's what it takes, guys. That's what it takes to be successful. You need to make some sacrifices. I mean, I found out the other day, I was speaking with Mr. Jonathan Garrett, who's on here. Gentleman wakes up at 4 a.m. every day to go to the gym. I mean, that is commitment, guys. That is sacrifice, my man. I don't know how you do it, sir, but that's what it takes to be successful, guys. So we got an amazing guest speaker. I don't see him on here yet. Might still be waking him up. He might still be waking himself up here. Mr. Alex Shahid is scheduled to be with us this morning. But regardless, folks, let's get into this a little bit now. Remember, guys, we are laser focused through this Zoom and through this 90-day journey on getting 2 exposures every single day, attend 1 weekly meeting, and 1 Super Saturday. Now, every area has a meeting now. And I know I didn't prep Mr. Gehrig, but hey, Jonathan, do you think you could just unmute yourself real quick and just let everybody know? I know you have a meeting in Tampa, in Sarasota, I think it was. One of your CMCs is running that. Because I know a lot of individuals have been asking me about it.
Yeah, there's right now there's 2 times this month. The first one's already happened, but there's a networking and then lunch and learn in Sarasota. And then we're launching next week in Wesley Chapel.
Got it.
So I'll be putting that up here by the end of tomorrow.
Awesome. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you for everything that you're doing out there. We're gonna blow up that area, man. I got some team out there. I'll be driving down and helping support and build that and doing presentations and all. But thank you, sir. I know a lot of people have been asking. I've been pointing at the flyer that you guys have posted up last week. I just wasn't sure. So it's currently bi-weekly, and he's starting something up in Wesley Chapel. So that's really neat. I appreciate you. So guys, doesn't matter where you are in Florida now, you have a meeting to plug into. And then we got Miss Kai Deering coming in for an amazing Super Saturday that we got coming up. Again, guys, if you haven't yet, please join our WhatsApp group. I know this is getting monotonous, but guys, it is a great communication channel for us to stay connected. And I just want to say, I was really proud of a lot of the individuals that posted in there, in the chat, that, hey, I got my 2 exposures. I gave you an assignment. You went out and you delivered, guys. The majority of you that were active and actually building, put in there, hey, I got my 2 exposures done today. Even I did my 2 exposures. I even got a recruit yesterday. And then the one up me, Mr. Kevin Burtis, he also, Kevin and Susan Burtis also put in the chat, I got my 2 exposures done. And they actually got someone in their home and signed up a brand new associate in their kitchen, on their kitchen table. Super proud of you guys for leading by example. But put it in the chat because it keeps everyone excited. It keeps everyone focused on the right activity. And that's going out there and doing 2 exposures every single day, guys. And listen, we've been talking about this reboot and the second chance stuff for Jamaica. Let me tell you, just yesterday, they launched a brand new chance, right? So forget the reboot. We got a whole brand new opportunity for those that did not qualify. Not performance of qualify. So the way Mr. Don Thompson put it yesterday, and I haven't seen it yet, the actual literature on it, but if there was a brand new associate that started in the month of July, that means they may not have had that whole month. Corporate is understanding that they didn't have a whole month to qualify. So they are able to, as long as they faster performance of qualified this month, qualify with only 7 out of the 8 months. So that's huge. That means you can go back to those individuals that got started and that didn't have time, didn't have the time to hit Performance Club. You got time to go back to them and say, listen, you could still qualify to go to Jamaica with us for free. All you got to do is get signed up and let's go. Or if you have someone that signed up already, hey, just get that Performance Club done this month. Also, for existing associates, guys, they're also doing kind of a reboot. You just have to have 2 recruits. If you have 2 recruits, before I believe, and guys, if I'm incorrect, please put it in the chat. I believe Mr. Thompson said until August 20th. We have until August 20th. If you have 2 recruits by August 20th, then you could also qualify for Jamaica with only 2 months in. And again, there's always that reboot, right? So, hey, guys, without any further ado, I'm going to step out of the way and bring in our guest speaker here. Just wanted to make sure that you guys, if you weren't on that team challenge call yesterday, I wanted to make sure that you guys got the news, because that's big news for you and your team, brand new team or old team. So, again, guys, without further ado, guys, Mr. Alex Shahid's a $200,000 income earner, network vice president, good friend, an incredible leader, guys, just a powerful trainer and motivator. So I'm so excited he was able to join us this morning to bless us with some knowledge here. So, Mr. Alex Shahid, sir, thank you for being on over, sir.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. Sorry I'm a little late. As you can see by my name tag, there's actually a networking event going on back there because I'm heavily involved in chambers of commerce. So I'm an ambassador in the local chamber of commerce. And for those of you that, just see yourself as a Legal Shield professional, I highly encourage you to get out there and network, because the more you network, the more your net's worth. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. And, this morning, talking a little bit about Super Saturdays, I love Legal Shield events because it's kind of like when you watch a football game. Like I'm a big Bama fan. I know y'all are down in Florida, so there could be a mixture of, Gators or, whoever you guys root for. Outside of Bama, it's pretty irrelevant, but no, I'm just kidding. But this is when Smack Talk starts. We are 5 weeks out from SEC and college football. So if you're not messing with your friends about college football, that's how I prospect. People say, well, Alex, how do you meet people? What do you say? What's your hook to get them interested in Legal Shield? And what do you talk to them about? And my answer is everything but Legal Shield. Genuinely, like if we're out and about, like I'm talking smack to you because you're an Auburn fan. I mean, there was a guy that came up to me when I was getting some flooring, and he goes, man, I almost didn't come over here and help you because I had my Alabama visor on. I was like, oh, you're one of the orange people. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, I heard Orange Man bad, political joke there. And he was just laughing, and we were cutting up. And I said, I'm surprised that they let you get a job here. I mean, just totally smack talking him. Anyway, by the time he loaded the stuff in my truck, I was like, hey man, what are you doing at Auburn? He says, mass communications and journalism. I said, oh, so you're basically going to get paid to interview and talk to people. He goes, yeah. I said, how would you like to make money doing that now? And he goes, what do you mean? I said, well, my company's always looking for people with skills like yours. If you keep your income options open, I can share some information with you and see if it might be a good fit. And so again, I prospected him, got his information. And the reason that I do the exposures from day to day is to take people from one exposure to the next exposure. You're in a 90-day run right now. So it was day 15. And so in a 90-day run, our goal is to fill the pipeline and fill the funnel. And the only reason I do an exposure is to do the next exposure. So if people won't make a new decision based on old information. And so what is old information? The video that they've already seen. If the video that they've already seen, the information they've already watched, the event they've already attended has not led to an enrollment, they probably will not make a decision to enroll based on old information, which is why the next exposure and the next event is important. But as I see prospects, I take prospects from exposure to exposure, just like I take associates from event to event. And so when somebody signs up as an associate, I don't see them as somebody that's like in the business. If Jonathan Garrick signed up as a brand new associate on my team, how I look at that is he gave me a permission slip to actively recruit him on a daily basis. So when somebody signs up as a brand new associate that I personally sponsor, I have 20 days to prospect them every single day. And the difference for me changes over from prospecting them from, hey, watch this video, check out this resource, are you interested? Is, hey, Jonathan, have you downloaded the Prospect app? Our audio of the month is Success Drive. Make sure you check that out. 3 speakers, Brian Carruthers, Darnell Self, and Dave Savula have made almost $80 million with our company. Check that out today. Hey, Jonathan, did you know the next event is Saturday, the 19th? We have a big training event. Have you gotten registered or are you even aware about it? Oh man, let me tell you about it. And so I'm continuing to prospect him, but as an associate. So I'm acting not as if he's in and he's like, dude, Jonathan's like A1 day one. He's a lifer. Like he could quit any day. And so he just gave me permission to call him every day to talk to him about Legal Shield. And so I know that getting Jonathan to that next event is going to be the difference maker, not between whether he stays here for life or not, but whether he stays to the next event. And then as soon as we get to that Super Saturday, see, all your work, all your time, all your effort, all your energy, your job is leading up into that Super Saturday. At that Super Saturday, you can actually sit back and relax. You know, that's when Daniel Gonzalez work starts. You know, he's that's when he's on. Your job is everything leading up to it. His job is at the event, also leading up to it because he's building into the event. You know, and the other market leaders, their job is the event. When Daniel gets to relax is the beer after the event. He's like, woo, thank Jesus it's over. You know, and I mean, that is the feeling of a field leader, by the way, because Super Saturdays are hard as shit to put on. You have to call people, schedule stuff, people cancel, venues change. My venue just canceled on me for my next Super Saturday. Like it's I don't know how many weeks away, 3 or 4 weeks. They canceled. They were like, hey man, we didn't realize that we weren't, you know, supposed to book that weekend because of football. I'm like, well, it's not, Alabama's not even playing that weekend, so I don't know who's going to watch football. But the moral of the story, y'all say I just like put little zingers in there. But so my event canceled. So now I got to find a new venue. I got to book it. I got to do all this stuff. So there's a lot that goes into a Super Saturday that you don't even have to think about. You don't have to think about when the speaker's coming. You don't have to think about where they're staying. You don't have to think about who's picking them up for the airport. You don't have to think about where they need to be, what they need to be doing. You don't have to think about their goodie bags. You don't have to think about, you know, making sure that they're taken care of. You don't have to think about their transportation to and from the event. You don't have to think about the issues with the venue. You don't have to think about the fact that the venue said they don't open up to 11 and the event starts at 11. So you have to have people there early to unlock the doors and actually basically work for the venue to make sure that the event goes on well. You don't have to worry about the issues with the sound and the fact that they said that they had an HDMI cable, but they didn't have an HDMI cable. I know it's not an issue for Daniel, but you know, he's got all the equipment in the world. But I mean, I can line up a list 5 pages long of the stuff that you actually have to do to make a Super Saturday work, but you don't have to do none of that. I mean, you may be asked to volunteer. You may be asked to shake people's hand at the door. You may be asked to seat people. You may be asked to greet people. You may be asked to give a testimonial, but you Daniel's a walking Radio Shack. That's pretty funny and because it's true. I find that the comedy comes from things that are true, but you don't have to worry about those things. And so how I leverage the Super Saturday is the people that I think are most important to come to the Super Saturday are the brand new associates. I had a brand new guy, Zach. He hit manager his first month in the business, recruited about 5 people, did about $500, $600 in premium. He came to his first Super Saturday. Not only was he blown away and brought 3 or 4 people from his team, which by the way, I told Zach based on his goals, you know, and I'll change, you know, the goal based on what somebody wants. He said, man, I want to be an executive director. I said, you need to have at least 10 people at the event at that Super Saturday. He had 4 out of 10. So not bad, right? Where, you know, not exactly 10, but it doesn't matter that you missed the goal. It matters that you set it and try. But you know how many tickets he bought for the next Super Saturday? 15. He bought 15 tickets to the next Super Saturday because he's new, he's on fire, and he's committed. People that have been around for a while, they think, oh, well, you know, I'm only going to buy, you know, 1 ticket or 3 tickets or whatever, because like, what if I can't make it? Or what if my team can't make it? Or what if, and they what if themselves. I don't know if y'all can hear the geese in the background, but I'm literally in front of this lake right here. So if you hear any nature sounds, that's what that is, because the people are networking inside still. Anyway, so the leveraging those Super Saturdays, you're leveraging other people's time, other people's money, other people's efforts, because you don't have to do any of that. I mean, literally, can you imagine? Think about the last concert you went to. What if you had to book the band, book the venue, find the security team, do all, I mean, can you imagine what goes into putting on one of those events? You don't even have to do it. And so here's how I build my business. And I wasn't planning on talking long today because I don't think that you need a long conversation to be on a short 90-day run call. And I honestly, I forgot how long Daniel wanted me to talk anyway. But the moral of the story is I build my business day to day. What do I do daily? I do my daily exposures and I stay in touch, especially with my new associates and my leaders. Those are the people I stay in touch with daily. What I do weekly is make sure that I have guests at the weekly business briefing, which ours is tonight, and I have guests confirmed, which is awesome. I love that. I put an L or a W, that's a loss or a win in football terminology, on my sheet on a weekly basis based on if I have a guest at the weekly business briefing. If I have a guest, I put a W. If I don't have a guest, I put an L. And I definitely want more W's than L's on a monthly basis. And then what I do monthly is I get people to the Super Saturday. I use it to leverage new associates. And of course, I want the rest of my team to plug in. But like, I'm gonna be real. If you've been on my team for 9 months and you're not plugging into Super Saturdays, there's a good chance I'm not even talking to you. I mean, because why am I going to waste my time? You know, the only way to have a fruitful garden is to prune it. The only way to have a fruitful garden is to prune it. And I don't want to use anybody's name on here because I don't want to say like you're not fruitful or but if you have an associate you've been inviting to 9 weekly briefings, 9 Super Saturdays, they're not showing up, they're not jumping on the Zooms, prune them, use that energy for somebody new. And so I put 80% of my energy on new people and I reserve the other 20% for my leaders. That's it. That's how I continue to stay in the top 10 every single year. Last year, we were #1 in organizational fast start. There was nobody with more people on their power team that fast start qualified than our organization. Why? Because we put 80% of our attention into new associates and 20% of the rest of the attention into the leaders that are impacting the other associates. And that's how I built my team. And the biggest leverage point, whether you have 5 minutes or 5 hours a day to build your business, the biggest leverage point that can get the biggest impact is the Super Saturdays. But to load up the Super Saturday, you got to load up the weekly briefing. To load up the weekly briefing, you have to have exposures done daily. And so everything is connected in this business. And if you have slack in the rope, one of my good friends, Andy Intrican, shared in our group messenger this morning, and I forget the verse. As a matter of fact, let me just grab it real quick, and I'll end on this because it was powerful. So I'm gonna just read it to you real quick. He said, he read in Proverbs this morning that we can apply to our business. A slack hand causes poverty, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. Proverbs 10:4. He says to avoid slack, like in a rope tying a boat to a dock, there has to be consistent tension. The key word is consistent. Our business is simple. If you're consistent, you win. When you get better at being consistent, you win more. When you master consistency, you break records. Consistency has been a hard word for a lot of people because it requires accountability, and our pride wants to keep us from allowing ourselves to be held accountable by others. But breakthrough is on the other side of that. So if you love that, give Andy a text or a message. That was so profound for me this morning. And that's really what it is. You don't have to be a top producer. You don't have to be a top recruiter, even though you can be. We invite you to be one of those because we need those and we want those to be an example for everybody else. But what we need more than anything is consistency in your business. It's not that you do everything in a day, but every day you do one thing towards the success of your business. So my wish, my hope, my desire for you is that this year is a year of consistency. This 90-day run is consistent for you, that you don't let a single day go by in the next 90 days where you don't do your 2 exposures and that you're inviting people to the next event. So Mr. Gonzalez, I appreciate you, sir. This was short, but I hope it was impactful.
No, that's exactly what we asked for, brother. Hey, guys, if you appreciated that, Florida, let's give him some Florida love. I know he's a Bama fan. Don't hold it against him. Let's show him some love, guys. Thank you so much to Mr. Alex Shahid and the Geese coming in live from Alabama. Thank you for spending some time with us here in Florida, guys. So, hey, that's a wrap for today, ladies and gents. Do not forget, if you missed last month, you have until August 20th to get 2 recruits, and then you could also get back on the bandwagon for Jamaica if you had new associates and they didn't qualify in July, but they were recruited in July. If they qualify this month, they could go ahead and only qualify for 7 months to get on the Jamaica trip, guys. Let's get it. Let's get strong. We'll see you tonight at all of the weekly briefings that are happening all across Florida, guys. Have a beautiful day. God bless you guys. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning.